Hi, I'm T.R. Williams, County Executive.
Hi, I'm Keith Durham, Mayor of the City of Lawrenceburg, the birthplace of Southern gospel music and the home of David Crockett.
Hi everybody, I'm Alan Betts. I'm host president of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series held in Lawrenceburg.
On behalf of the citizens of Lawrence County,
I want to welcome you to the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series.
PSEC Productions, in association with K2 Media, proudly presents the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network and X Sports TV Online. Now, live from the birthplace of Southern gospel music and the land of Crockett, with Stanley Wilson, here's J.P. Plant.
And we welcome you to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Host team from Lawrenceburg getting set to take on Pittsfield, Massachusetts. We're going to go live down to the field, and the gentleman who's responsible for this beautiful ballpark is down with our MC, Paul Plant. Paul, take it away.
Hi, this is Paul Plant. Again, I'm here with Doug Howell. Doug has been the head of the field part of this whole preparation for the Babe Ruth World Series. He's the guy that got this beautiful field in its shape. He had a lot of people to help him, but he did it. Doug, talk to us a little bit about what all it took to get this field particularly ready to play.
Well, we took on a lot of rain yesterday, and we didn't anticipate that. And, of course, we watched the weather forecast last night, anticipating this morning getting here at 5:30, fixing the fields, getting everything ready. And then, lo and behold, about 8 o'clock, you know, they hollered, it's raining on North Military. You guys better hurry up. And so we had the fields pretty close to ready, and then all of a sudden had to cover them. But we were blessed to have so much help around here, I tell you what. And then boy, the rain turned in, and it just sat on us. And
I was told it didn't even rain in Summertown.
That's it. It just circled on us. Yeah, we heard that the folks in Columbia were sitting around the pool up there. What are y'all talking about? Rain delay, you know, whatever. So, but again, you know, it was tough, and there was a lot of rain, and you know, it just kept raining. And we all thought, well, okay, we're going to get a little rain this morning. We'll cover up, see what's going to happen. And then next thing we know, it's raining at 11 o'clock, and it's raining at 2 o'clock, and it finally gets out of here, and then, boy, then the troops went to work. I tell you what, Lawrenceburg stepped up. It wasn't we have a good ground crew, but I'm telling you what, we couldn't have done it without all the people that stepped up today. I think there was one point there was 60 people probably amongst the fields getting tarps off, doing what had to take place, you know, whatever. So, but Paul, I think that's what Robert seen a year and a half ago when he came down here to the country club that night. He already knew what had taken place,
Yep.
you know, several years ago back in 78 and 81, but he's seen it again, and he says, yep, this isn't just a couple of guys or folks trying to put this thing together. This is a community putting it together.
You're talking about Robert Faraday. He's the vice president commissioner of Babe Ruth Baseball. He was here yesterday. As a matter of fact, was planning on seeing some baseball today. But I talked to him this morning. We interviewed him. I think JP has had it on. If he hadn't, he will later. And he ended up leaving a little early to go to another tournament. But I asked him, I said, why Lawrenceburg? And what you said is exactly why. He says they're familiar with what our people want to do and love to do. We're a small town. It may be more difficult in the future if they don't house boys in homes, but we'll deal with that. But I say this to you, and I want to say it to you in front of anybody who's listening. This is as good an amateur baseball facility as I've ever seen. And you have done a marvelous job making it happen.
Yeah, it wasn't a one-person deal, I can promise you guys. It was several people. This whole committee that we had together, along with volunteers and support from community. I mean, folks chipped in, they donated time, effort, materials. We couldn't have done it without everybody. And like I say, you just don't, you know, today the fire department stepping up out here and just bringing those fans out. I mean, it just doesn't, you know, this community you don't ask. You just accept what they give you, and I tell you what, it's there, and it was here again today, and we were excited to get this field. That was the thing, you know, as these young people, they've come in here to play baseball. Mm-hmm. They don't want to hear excuses. They don't want to hear this, and they just get disappointed when you can't let them play. And we did everything we could today to get it ready, and you know, we wanted, I think Glacier, Montana said them in West End, Pennsylvania have been here since Tuesday and hadn't seen a pitch yet. You know, and they were just excited, and every time we delayed it, it was like, you think we're really going to play today? You know, whatever. We would like to play, you know, whatever. So we're real excited that they got to play today. And hopefully Mother Nature's going to turn back to us on the good side again, and we'll just go forward with this tournament.
And after tonight, what do we need now to catch up and be back on schedule?
We're gonna get Friday night's games in tonight. And then tomorrow about noon, we'll start on Saturday's games, and we'll play the Saturday 4 games early on at 12, and I think roughly about 2:30 and 3, and then we'll rotate into Sunday's actual games tomorrow night at 5:30, and then 8, 7:30, 8, something like that. So all in all, hopefully just about the same time we're tonight, we'll be kicking off the last games tomorrow of 8 games, and we'll be back on track for Monday and back ready to go. So.
And the second half of this thing, or the second portion, three teams in each pool, the best 3 teams in each pool, will then play each other in a single elimination starting Monday?
No, it starts Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
Tuesday. Every pool play goes through Monday, and that was the thing today. We had Spike and Tim and Robert here from Babe Ruth, and everybody was working together saying, okay, what if?
Yep.
What if we can't play today? What do we do tomorrow? How do we work it out? And everything was geared towards the young men. It wasn't geared towards anything else but making sure that we took care of these young men that earned their way to come to this World Series and take care of them the best way we could. And Babe Ruth's been just real cooperative with us. They've left it up to us. They've helped us make decisions, but they felt like they can go. So,
well, they've seen the professionalism in this town, and they're all over. So, Doug Howell, thank you.
I
appreciate your hard work making it happen.
Hey, this broadcast has been great, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Paul. Thank you, Doug, as we get ready for Lawrenceburg and Pittsfield, Massachusetts, coming up in just a few moments. J.P. Plant, Stanley Wilson up in our broadcast booth. As we've got a very special presentation, Stanley, coming for the opening, the first pitch, a national anthem live on the field, and that is all coming up very shortly. And looks like, I think we're going to happen in just a few moments.
Yeah, we got some buddy ball teammates that are going to make an appearance on the field, and then we'll have a special ceremonial first pitch along with our national anthem by some young ladies here from the community. So a lot going on here before this Lawrenceburg game, getting ready to play Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
All right, and as we get close to the opening first pitch, and looks like they're still getting things ready. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take a quick break. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be back and have all the festivities live on Exports TV, Exports Radio Network for the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit sealawco.com or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce.
And welcome back to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and the Babe Ruth World Series as we get ready for the host team, Lawrenceburg, 1-0 coming in, taking on Pittsfield, Massachusetts, also 1-0. Both teams looking strong in their first game. J.P. Plant, Stanley Wilson here with you up in the booth. As any moment now, we'll go down to the field and have our opening first pitch and a very special presentation. And we'll just go down to the field now with Paul Plant, who is down amongst the action. Paul?
And your hometown team, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. The visiting team for tonight's contest is Pittsfield, Massachusetts. First, the team ambassadors, Haley Lance, Abby Varnett, Emma Sid. Bad Boys, Logan Boswell, TJ Gobble. The non-starters for Pittsfield, number 8, Jake Flynn. Number 34, Hunter Bracey. Number 4, Travis Bach. Number 16, Brandon Peasley. Now the starting lineup for Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Leading off, playing shortstop, number 23, Isaiah Mystery. Batting second, number 7, Drew DiMartino. Batting third and pitching, number 21, Jake McNeese. Batting fourth and pitching, number 28, Brett Murphy. Batting sixth, number 2, Ty Cowdrey. Batting seventh, left fielder number 9, Noah Santos. Extra hitter number 14, Kyle Crocker. Number 18, playing first base, Devin Walker. And right fielder number 24, Anthony Whiteley. Your manager, Tom Rizzo, Coach Tony DiMartino, and Rob Cowdrey. Now for your home team, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. First, the team ambassadors, Miss Lauren Holly, Miss Ellie Brown, Miss Annabelle Cruz. Your bad boys, Cutler Coat, Weston Brewer. First, the non-starters for Lawrenceburg. Number 1, Lou Shannon. Number 10, Jacob James. Number 22, T.J. Jackson. Number 11, Austin Clinton. Number 12, Bailey Burleson. Now the starting lineup. Leading off, number 9, Coulter Hauser. Batting second, number 7, Jacob Hallmark. Batting third, first baseman, number 25, Ryan Weathers. Pitching, batting fourth, number 4, Lance Pope. Number 5, second baseman, Sam Crane. Left fielder, number 88, Kendall Franklin. Your extra hitter, number 23, Jacob Long. Catching, number 6, Bradley Huckabee. Number 18, Drew Bailey. Right fielder, number 43, Ben Stagg. Your manager, David Weathers. Coaches, Josh Purcell, Michael Crane. We ask that you please stand and remove your hats for the reading of the Babe Ruth Code to be followed by the national anthem.
The Sportsmanship Code of Babe Ruth League. Develop a strong, clean, healthy body, mind, and soul. Develop a strong urge for sportsmanlike conduct. Develop understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance, and modesty in victory. Develop control over emotions and speech. Develop spirit of cooperation and team play. Develop into real, true citizens.
At this time, we go down to the field. Mr. Paul plans introductions for our national anthem.
Tonight we're excited to have three young ladies from Lawrenceburg to sing the national anthem for us. We have Miss Annalise Story, Miss Cheney Story, and Miss Aniston McFall. I've been listening to them rehearse, and they're pretty doggone good. So pay you a little attention here. There's that. And you're going to hold this, whoops. Okay. Ready?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the
All right. Thank you, girls. Thank you all so much. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think of that? Thank you, guys. You go back to your dugouts now. Some of you who were here on Wednesday night, and a lot of you who live in Lawrenceburg know all about this next thing. We have a family in our town who has been involved in a project for the last year having to do with what's called the Miracle League and a thing called Buddy Ball. Buddy Ball is an opportunity for youngsters and some folks not so young to participate in baseball just like the rest of us do. Now, we've learned that on nights like tonight, these wheelchairs don't do real well. They get a little muddy, they get a little wet. They have to go home and do a lot of cleaning and oiling. So guess what's happened? This lady right here by me, Miss Abigail Kidd, who is going to throw out the ball here in a second, and her mom and daddy, Tommy Lee and Lisa, yes, please. Come on. And some of their friends, and many of you, as a matter of fact, probably most of you from Lawrence County, have been involved over the last year and a couple of months in raising some money. Let me introduce you to these kids right over here. Kids, wave your hands big when I call your name, if you would. Brad Harmon. Brad, where are you? Let's see you. Jonathan Adney, the fastest man on the planet. Jonathan, there he is. Jonathan McGill. Big D, Daniel Gobble. Leanne Barnett. Lisa Walls. And of course, Abigail here with me. For those of you out of town, let me tell you just one more brief thing about this program. Right across the street, you'll see a sign that says Home of the Miracle Field. This time next year, when you come back to visit us, and when we have our next World Series soon, you will see there a totally rubberized field for these folks to play on. Tommy Lee and Abigail and Lisa had this dream. Abigail had a plan. Abigail needs a plan to make things work. Her plan was that we build this field. The only problem was it took $350,000, 350 macaroonies, to get that thing done. You know what, folks? In slightly under 365 days, Lawrence County and our friends from all over the world have raised $350,000 to build that field. Tommy Lee and Lisa and this gal right here, Abigail. Every ball player here tonight has a shirt that says Abigail's Plan. Abigail's Plan is going to be all over this country. And tonight I'm tremendously honored to introduce to you, to throw out our first pitch, the lady with the plan, Miss Abigail Kidd. Abigail, throw that thing, baby.
Zoom out. Get this first. Get this first.
All right. shot. Look at there. Yay! How about it?
That's great. That is great.
Thank you. Now, if that ain't what baseball's about, I don't know. Let's play ball. Have a good game, folks.
All right, thank you very much, Paul Plant, and congratulations. And what a pitch, Abigail, of Abigail's Plan. Well done, and what a way to start a baseball game. I want to let you know the starting lineups you heard from public address announcer Chad Moore, brought to you by First Farmers. For the life you lead. All right, Stanley, how about our keys to the game? The hosts from Lawrenceburg looking to go 2-0, as are the boys from New England and Pittsfield, Mass. What you got tonight?
Well, these keys of the game are brought to you by Williams Auto Sales and Auto Credit. Next time you're looking for a car or truck, go see Bobby or Raleigh for your new set of keys. Well, for Pittsfield, they've got to do what they were continuing doing in that first game. Have good pitching and good hitting, and they did that in that first game and won 9-0. And got a great performance out of Mestry. And they got to continue doing that tonight. And for Lawrence County, they hit the ball well against Fargo the other night. And Lance Pope is on the mound and going to try to shut out this Massachusetts team. But the key right there is keeping that hitting going, because we know that they're going to have a big left-hander coming. And I failed to find out what his name was right here for. There he is.
For Pittsfield?
Jacob McNeese. So Jacob McNeese will be on the mound, and he's going to be a good hurler for them. So Lawrence County has got to do their job about hitting that ball.
All right, Lawrence County's got a big hurler of their own, and right-hander Lance Pope. He'll be on the mound tonight for the hosts from Lawrenceburg. I want to remind you, our portable power of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series is made possible by our friends at Rent Right in Lawrenceburg, located on Buffalo Road. All right, Stanley, it's been a long time coming to get to this game as well. After the first appearances for both teams, a pivotal matchup here tonight. The host team, Lawrenceburg, in as the home team versus the New England champs from Pittsfield, Massachusetts, Isaiah Mestry. A no-hitter his last time out on the mound. First pitch from Lance Pope. Strike on the outside corner. We're underway at 9:38 p.m. Central from Lawrenceburg in the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Pope kicks, fires, just missed on the outside corner, and the count evens at 1-1. Drew Bailey at third, Hallmark at short, Sam Crane at second, Ryan Weathers at first. Outfield is Franklin, Hauser, and Staggs from left to right. That ball is lifted into right center field. Going back on his horse is Hauser. Still going, it drops off his glove. Falls to the wall. Mestry rounding second. He's going for a triple and a leadoff three-bagger for Isaiah Mestry and Pittsfield, Massachusetts. They've got a guy on third with nobody out here in the top of the first.
Not the way you wanted to start the game. You got a hit on the count, but then you took a pitch to the opposite field and hit it deep to right center field. Hauser got a glove on it, but just couldn't corral it, and he's standing up at third base with the stand-up triple.
Well, I tell you what, that was power versus power, and the bat won. A long way to run for Hauser, as Drew DiMartino will step into the batter's box. First pitch to him is inside for a ball. DiMartino went 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs, a couple of walks in their 10-0 win over Wisconsin Thursday afternoon. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. Runner at third is Mestry for Massachusetts. Pope from the stretch. Fouled away. Count even at 1-1.
This should be a good game here tonight, JP. As you said earlier, power and power, and that's what it's going to be. Two very good teams, fundamentally, and well-coached ball clubs here tonight.
Without question. No score, top of the first.
Good block by Huckable behind the plate there to keep the runner at third. His ball went into the dirt. Kept it out in front of him.
And actually, that was an error charged to Hauser in center field.
A tough error. That was a long way to go.
Here's the 2-1. It is low, 3-1.
He got on his horse and get it up out there to it, and it just went off the end of his glove. So tough error.
All right, so the 3-1 delivery. Hot shot stolen right there by Sam Crane. What a stab.
What a play by Sam Crane. Going toward the second base bag and backhanded that one.
That'll make the highlight reel.
Yep, that's the save of the game so far.
Now you can go ahead and book it. You save of the game.
And play of the game
that's
right there.
Right. Brought to you by U-Save Car and Truck Rental, the official car and truck rental company of the Exports Radio Network in the Babe Ruth World Series. What a play.
And we're only into 2 plays in the ball game. Sam Crane has just become Lance Pope's best friend.
No kidding. All right, the pitch to Jacob McNeese.
McNeese, the starting pitcher for Massachusetts tonight.
And there's a strike.
And that's what you like to see, a strike at low in the strike zone.
Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Got him chasing on the outside corner.
And he's a little anxious on that one. He tried to reach for it and lunged at it.
1-2 the count, 1 out. Runner at third is Mestry. Reached on an error. Long fly ball to right center field. That ball is chopped fouled on the first base side. Count remains 1-2.
You got Weathers at first, Crane at second, Hallmark at short, and Drew Bailey over at third base. Huckabee behind the plate, catching Lance Pope.
That ball is popped up down the right field line. Long run for Staggs coming in. Foul territory, makes the play. Tagging at third is Mestry, will score easily. And Massachusetts gets on the board here in the top of the first. They lead it 1-0. And now, Stanley, it looks like that the error has been taken back, and it is a hit.
Yeah, I think that's the right call right there.
It's a right call, but that's going to be interesting on my iPad to change that score.
Well, a leadoff triple, now a sacrifice fly has plated a first run of the ball game. Massachusetts up 1-0, and Ben Staggs had a long way to run for that ball, but he ran it down. Good speed out there in center and right field.
All right.
You got Kendall Franklin over in left field. He played catcher in the first game, but Huckle's behind the plate tonight, so he moves to left field while Lance Pope, who started in left field, is pitching.
So Jack Cooney, the hitter, takes the ball. It's a ground ball to the left side. Diving Hallmark, unable to pick it up as it goes through for a base hit. Second hit of the inning. And runner at first with 2 outs is Cooney.
Well, this Pittsfield team is a good hitting ball club, as we saw in that first game that they played against Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and they're continuing the hit barrage right here.
Catcher, number 28, Brett Murphy.
All right, so Brett Murphy be behind the plate tonight for Massachusetts. Cooney at first. 2 outs, top of the first, 1-0 Massachusetts over Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Here's Lance Pope firing in there. Strike one is a swing and a miss. And we got a ball out there in left field.
That could have come from the other field on a foul ball.
Yeah. California already up on Giles County, Tennessee. Actually now 2-0 in the top of the first. So Giles County jumping out early over in Tom Cruise Field. That game available live on Exports TV 2. There goes the runner, Cooney. Throw from Huckabee is not in time.
Well, he had to backhand it over in the left-handed batter's box. He made a good stop and had actually a strong throw down to second base, but that was a hard pitch to deal with to try to get a runner out. So Massachusetts using their speed here early with 2 outs, taking a chance runner.
So stolen base for Cooney. First pitch was a ball. That one was a ball, or rather a strike. And I believe the count's 1-2 now. There we go. 1-2, 2 outs. Runner at second is Cooney. Massachusetts on the board first, 1-0 over the host team from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Here's Pope. It is high and outside for a ball.
Time now for our weather report brought to you by Martin Methodist College. It's about 75 degrees, but the dew point is way on up there. The humidity is up here tonight. The air is clear except for the smoke from the fireworks.
That's right. Smoke from the fireworks, and I smell, Pope threw it over the head of Hallmark. Coming in is Hauser, and making his way to third is Cooney.
Well, Lance Pope turned around to throw to second. Nobody was there, and he tried to hold up and reroute his throw. And it just went into center field, so an error there on Lance Pope.
I think he saw Cooney retreating, thought it might be one of his teammates out of the corner of his eye. So Cooney is at third with 2 outs. And we got a 2-2 count on the hitter, Brett Murphy, for Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
Well, you get a strike right here, and that error won't hurt you. But Massachusetts trying to capitalize right here in this situation.
Here's the pitch, fouled away. And the count remains at 2-2.
That smoke is starting to settle down on the field now.
It is. Little haze. Drifting towards right field in a southwesterly direction. That nearly hit him, and it does. It grazed the helmet of Brett Murphy. He will trot down to first. Staying at third is Cooney.
Well, Lance needs to just recompose here, just get back in his game plan. He threw the ball away at second base. Now he's got a hit batsman. He just needs to settle down right here and get this batter out. Massachusetts will be looking for a 2-out hit. Get at least 1 run in. There was a foul ball that came over here.
Yeah.
Landed right in front of us in the crowd.
There is a netting as a throw over to first. Weathers gets it in time.
They didn't do the job on that one. Hope nobody's hurt.
Here's the first pitch. Runner going from first, and Murphy, he'll steal it without a throw. And that ball was low. 1-0 the count.
Well, Huckable pounced out of there from his catcher spot to look that runner back at third.
One to know the count. So Tyler Cowdrey popped up to the right side. Through the fog and haze, Ben Staggs going for it and makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. As Massachusetts jumps on the board first. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 hits rather, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. Lawrenceburg, Tennessee coming to the plate. We'll have it for you when we return to the World Series on the Exports Radio Network and Exports TV.
You know, texting while driving.
Main Street Lawrenceburg is proud to support the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Downtown is in the midst of an incredible revitalization led by Daryl Valentine and the Main Street Board in an effort to make downtown the heartbeat of the city. Come join us downtown where you'll find many shops and restaurants for folks of all ages, streets full of history, and much more. Visit MainStreetLawrenceburgTN.com. On behalf of Daryl Valentine and myself, April Judkins, Main Street Lawrenceburg Director, we hope to see you downtown.
Why do people all over the Tennessee Valley love Story & Lee furniture?
I haven't found anything in the whole Tennessee Valley that's the size of Story & Lee.
We know when we come into Story & Lee, we're going to get good quality furniture. We know we're going to get a great price.
With over 144,000 square feet of furniture to choose from, it's the largest furniture store in the Tennessee Valley.
When we go look other places, we always wind up back here for a better buy.
You got to come see Story & Lee.
Story & Lee Furniture in Leoma, Tennessee.
And we're back in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X-Sports Radio Network and X-Sports TV, brought to you in part by Valentine Enterprises and by First Tennessee Bank. Appreciate you tuning in today. And tonight, J.P. Plant alongside Stanley Wilson after a long rain delay that began at 5 o'clock yesterday evening. Continued at 9 o'clock this morning until game started at 6 o'clock. But it was well worth the wait. A couple of good games in the first outings, and then a beautiful fireworks display by the city of Lawrenceburg, Stanley, and now a couple of great matchups here on this field. Massachusetts and Lawrenceburg, and then Giles County and California on Tom Cruise Field.
Yeah, this is a great day for baseball. We finally got to that point. We're going to have a bigger day tomorrow as we double up to do the Saturday game starting at noon and at 2:30, and then the Sunday regular scheduled games will be at 5 and 7:30 tomorrow night. So we're getting back on track here. And Lawrenceburg just gave up that one run after a leadoff triple. That's pretty good. They didn't give up any more than that, and he came home on a sacrifice fly. So let's see what Colton Hauser can do for us here in Lawrenceburg.
All right, first pitch from Jacob McNeese. The lefty is a little high for a ball. 1-0 the count. It'll be Coulter Hauser, Jacob Hallmark, and Ryan Weathers, the first three up for the host team from Lawrence County. There's a curveball that gets in there for a strike, count even at 1-1.
McNeese, one of those lefties that he's not big in stature, but he sure can bring it.
He is a quick worker, too. Nice curveball. Tried to square around. Did Hauser. Fouled it away. Count is now 1-2. Beautiful night for baseball. I think maybe a couple of degrees cooler than it was earlier. Stanley's still warm and muggy. There's a little chopper. That's going to stay fair. Tough play for Cowdrey. Going to have to barehand it. Can't do anything with it. A swinging bunt for Coulter Hauser to lead things off in the bottom of the first, and he's on first base with nobody out.
Well, that's what you want to see if you're a Lawrenceburg fan. That first runner on, down 1-0 here. Hallmark taking a long look at manager David Weathers over at third base. You got Michael Crane, the first base coach.
And Stanley, that wet grass, you were down on the field before this game. There had no chance. Once it hit that grass, it just died.
Yeah, it's still soggy out there.
Throw over from McNeese.
That wasn't his best throw. He just wanted to let him know, I know you're over there. I'm sure he's got a pretty good.
There's a line drive, left side of the infield. Hollywood Hallmark gets on base, and just like Thursday night, Stanley, Hauser and Hallmark get on board to start the inning. Thursday night, Ryan Weathers tripled to bring him in. Let's see what happens here.
Mentioned on that, my Williams Auto Sales keys of the game was to keep that hitting going, and that's what Lawrence County is doing right here.
So Ryan Weathers, who pitched 6 innings, only gave up 1 hit in those innings as Lawrenceburg defeated Fargo, North Dakota 9-1. Weathers was 3 of 4 from the plate with 3 runs, batted in, scored a run himself. First pitch to him, outside for a ball from McNeese. McNeese, the lefty. Ryan Weathers pitches and throws left, but hits from the right side. That pitch is high for a ball. Lawrence County in their orange and white Tennessee creamsicle uniforms tonight. Again, they wore Thursday night. That pitch is high, and Weathers has worked the count in his favor, 3-0. Let's see if he has a green light here.
Wouldn't be surprised if he did. A good hitter.
Here's the delivery. Inside, and draws a walk. So the bases will load up for Lance Pope.
Lance can help his own cause right here, being the pitcher for Lawrenceburg. Nobody out and bases loaded. He's got a chance to do some damage.
Lance, I think, is one of the few players who has hit the ball out of the ballpark at this field this year during Babe Ruth play. Here's the first pitch. Popped out of play. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, McNeese is going to try to induce a ground ball here, or a pop-up at least, if he can't strike him out.
McNeese fires as Pope watches that one in the dirt. Count even at 1-1.
The infielders are coming in on the corners at first and third, and they're playing back at second and short.
There's a ball and 2-1 the count. Coulter Hauser at third. Hallmark at second. Ryan Weathers at first. Nobody out. Bottom of the first. 1-0 Massachusetts. That pitch is low and outside. And it's 3-1 to Lance Pope. Nowhere to put number 4.
Yeah, McNeese trying to nip right at the corners. Didn't get the call there.
Here's a 3-1. Grounder chopped to third. Is it fair? It is foul. And Lawrence County gets a break right there as it was just across the line. As Tyler Cowdery tried to get to it quickly to keep it fair. Would have had a force at home, but Lawrence County and Lance Pope gets another chance.
Yeah, it runs the count full now, 3-2. So a payoff pitch coming up from McNeese.
One 0 your score, Pittsfield, Massachusetts over Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Bottom of the first. There's a pitch, it's low and outside, and Lawrence County ties it up on a base on balls as Pope draws the walk.
Murphy's going to call a timeout, walk out and talk to his pitcher, kind of settle him down a little bit. Tom Rizzo may make his way, the manager, and he is.
While he comes onto the field, I want to remind you, you can watch and listen to every game of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, by visiting xsportsradio.com, the Xsports Radio Network, and Xsports TV, where the Babe Ruth World Series comes to life and available only at xsportsradio.com. And also a reminder, we will have DVDs, rebroadcast of every game available if you're at the park or coming to the park at the PSEC tent. And in the next day or so, we will make them available also online, and we'll have more details about that. As right now, you can watch the replays during the World Series. Once the series is over, they will not be available anymore. So if you want to watch them, got to get your DVDs. We're excited to bring this to you across the country. Sam Crane steps in the batter's box to the right side. The first pitch from McNeese is high for a ball, 1-0.
Sam had 2 doubles before he had to leave the game the other night.
Fouled that one off, had a good cut. I think Sam may be seeing the baseball about as well as I've seen him.
He is. You're exactly
Making
right.
some great contact. Pitch is fouled away.
Ooh, that was a line drive foul out of play. Sam's one of those kids like Ryan Weathers. He thrives on pressure. We saw that on the basketball court, and of course we're sitting in the past Babe Ruth action also.
Here's the 1-2. That is low and outside. Count even now.
McNeese just missing with that breaking ball on the outside. He's tried it a couple of times to catch that corner, but just can't get it over there.
Here's the 2-2. Low. Count full.
Well,
3-2.
He's got to come to him right here since he's been missing on that breaking ball. Let's see if he throws a fastball. Sam Crane may be sitting on it.
Payoff pitch. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Here's outside. And another walk to bring in another run for Lawrenceburg.
Well, the merry-go-round keeps going around and around, and they plates 2 more to go ahead now, 2-1.
Kendall Franklin will step in.
Number 88, Kendall Franklin.
Franklin 1-for-3 Thursday night. Takes the first pitch high for a ball. And right now, McNeese struggling to find the plate. 25 total pitches, 18 have been outside the strike zone. Swing and a miss.
Franklin just swung through that one. May have pulled his head out.
Count evens at 1-1. Weathers at third, Lance Pope at second, and Sam Crane is at first. There's a strike on the outside corner. 1-2 the count. A jam-packed Denver trap field at Bobby Brewer Park tonight, just like it was Thursday. 1-2. Big sweeping curveball, just missed. Count even at 2-2. Yeah, Stanley, you can't fit one single person in a grandstand anywhere. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. And McNeese gets Franklin with the strikeout. First strikeout of the game. And the first out of the inning for Massachusetts. But it doesn't get any easier, Stanley.
No, it doesn't. Here comes the home run derby, man. Jacob Laws.
And if you're watching on Exports TV and maybe from Massachusetts or other parts of the world, yes, he is that big. 6'7", about 230. First pitch to him is low for a ball, 1-0.
He's a big guy with a big heart, though.
Oh, boy, I tell you.
Good kid.
You mentioned the home run champion this year, won it as a 14-year-old in Ocala, Florida, the 14-year-old World Series. That one's outside, 2-0.
The other day he was swinging on top of the ball and threw a lot of breaking balls to him. Let's see what they do here.
Here's the pitch. And that is low. 3-0. Again, bases loaded. Nowhere to put them.
Well, he's got to throw a strike right here. So if David Weathers gives him the green light, he could take a big hack at it.
And a 4-pitch walk drawn by Jacob Laws, and the third run comes home in Ryan Weathers.
Well, looks like we're going to have a call to the bullpen. This call to the bullpen brought to you by Farm Bureau of Tennessee in Lawrence and Giles County. Call Farm Bureau today and get your insurance checkup.
All right. Well, while Massachusetts makes a change on the mound, we'll take a timeout. Lawrenceburg, 3 runs already home in the bottom of the first. They lead at 3-1 over Massachusetts. We'll take a timeout, a 60-second break on the Exports Radio Network and Exports TV, live from the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series.
Whether you're an all-star athlete or a weekend warrior, don't let pain keep you out of the game. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, our orthopedic, spine, and sports medicine experts care for athletes and average folks alike. We're your hometown orthopedics and sports medicine team. Orthopedic excellence has a new name, Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and Winchester.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit sealawco.com or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce.
And we're back in Lawrenceburg at Denver Trap Field. Babe Ruth World Series pitching change for Pittsfield, Massachusetts. It'll be number 8, Jacob Flynn, comes into the ball game. Spelling Jacob McNeese, who went just a third of an inning, faced 7 batters, 33 total pitches, only 10 strikes, and 3 runs came across, as all of them were earned. 1 strikeout and 5 walks is what did McNeese in here in the first inning.
Well, tough spot for Jacob Flynn to come in here. Bases are loaded, only 1 out. As I mentioned earlier, he's going to try to get a ground ball or a pop-up if he can't get the strikeout. Bradley Huckabee will be the first batter he faces.
All right, so we got bases loaded. Lance Pope at third, Sam Crane at second, Jacob Laws at first. The hitter, Bradley Huckabee, starting behind the plate tonight. First pitch popped into shallow right field. Coming in is Whiteley. It falls in. 1 run will score in Pope. Crane rounding third. Here's a play at the plate. Sliding in safely. It's 5-1 Lawrence County.
That may have been as fast as I've ever seen Sam Crane run.
So a 2 RBI single for Bradley Huckabee. And runners are at first and second with 1 out.
Well, he went with the pitch and went to right field with it. Bradley standing on first base with a big smile on his face. And the first base umpire and home plate umpire talking to each other.
So Drew Bailey will be the hitter.
I'm not sure, but I think they've given Michael Crane a warning to stay in the box. I'm not sure about that.
Batter number 18, Drew Bailey.
Wouldn't be the first time. Here's the first pitch from Flynn. Fouled away. Big cut there by Bailey. 0-1 the count.
Drew Bailey up there with 2 runners on. He's got Ben Staggs on deck.
Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss.
Runners are going.
It was not a foul ball. Runners will move up to third and second. Five to 1. Lawrence County over Massachusetts, bottom of the first. Jacob Flynn, the new pitcher. That one is high for a ball. 1-2 to Drew Bailey. There is 1 out in the inning. Jacob Laws at third. Bradley Huckabee is at second with a 2 RBI single. That pitch is low in the dirt.
Well, Pittsfield, Massachusetts is pulling everybody in on the infield. The corners are standing almost, well, third baseman's on the grass. The first baseman's almost there, and the second base and shortstop playing in, trying to prevent that run at the plate.
That pitch is low. It's full. 3-2 to the 9th hitter of the inning for Lawrence County. Here's the pitch. And misses low. Another walk. The 6th walk of the inning from a Massachusetts pitcher. And they'll load him up for the 10th hitter of the inning in Ben Staggs.
And if there's one guy to do, it's Ben Staggs.
It's from the right side facing the right-handed Flynn. There's a curveball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Flynn spelling Jacob McNeese. That pitch is fouled off the foot, out of play. 0-2. 1 out in the inning. Bases loaded. 5 runs already across the plate. 3 of them were on bases loaded walks. The other 2, 2 RBI single from Huckabee. And the pitch is in the dirt, and it's 1-2. Lawrenceburg's next game will be tomorrow afternoon. Games will start at noon. There's a drive into left center field. 1 run will score, and Laws. Huckabee rounds third. He will score. Into third is Drew Bailey, and a 2 RBI double for Ben Staggs. It's 7-1. Lawrence County.
I told you he was due. And there's a big old smile on Ben Staggs' face. He's been struggling a little bit at the plate. They dropped him down in the order to try to get the pressure off of him, and he came through in a big clutch moment. It's a funny thing. I was talking to Jacob Laws and asking about Ben, and he says Ben's very quiet, but when he gets nervous, he talks a lot. So the other night, he was talking up a storm, and they knew he was nervous.
So top of the order, Coulter Hauser, who led off the inning with a single, came around to score. And I like this pattern from the host team, Stanley. Hauser and Hallmark each get on in the first inning, and they both come around to score, along with many others. But it's a way to get started.
Well,
that pitch is outside for a ball.
That's the mentality of this group. They've been here before, their third World Series in a row, and getting down 1-0 top of the first, that was nothing to them.
That pitch is low for a ball, and it's 2-0. Still only one out in the inning. Runner at third, Drew Bailey. Ben Staggs is at second. It's back-to-back 2 RBI hits for Lawrenceburg. That one's fouled away, 2-1. And, of course, you'll hear me say Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County. It's the Lawrenceburg Babe Ruth, but the team is made out of players from all over Lawrence County, and even one from Collinwood. It's the community just across the county line in Wayne County. That one's fouled away. So 2-2 the count.
You have to call them Lawrence County +1 now?
I guess. Make a little annex over there for CJ, Christopher Jackson. He's on the team as a 13-year-old. And Williston was not with them last year. And Ocala. There's a ground to the left side. And it's off the leg of Cowdrey. And everybody is safe.
Well, Drew Bailey played that correctly as a base runner. He came off the bag. Cowdrey had hit his shin and it bounced in front of him, but it could have gone by him. And that's what Bailey was watching out for.
So the error, the first of the ball game for Massachusetts, will load the bases up for Jacob Hollywood Hallmark.
Still one out.
Here's the pitch. That is high for a ball. 1-0. There's the pitch. Line drive into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Bailey will score. Staggs will hold at third. It gets past Cowdrey. Staggs is going to make his way in as the ball gets to the dugout. The runners move up to second and third. 2 more runners come across. It's 9-1. Lawrenceburg, Tennessee over Massachusetts.
Well, when Ben Staggs saw the ball get away from him, he used that speed to hustle on in for the 9th run. Still only one out. Massachusetts looking for something good to happen here. But the hit parade keeps coming for Lawrenceburg.
So runners at second and third. Still just one out. 9 runners across the plate in the first inning. What an inning for the host team. Ryan Weathers, the hitter, takes a strike on the outside corner. He walked on 4 pitches. His first at bat. Came around to score. And that one's low for a ball. Count even at 1-1. So Stanley, 9 of the first 10 hitters have come around, have got on base and come around to score. That pitch is outside for a ball, 2-1.
Well, a lead like this, that gets the pressure off of Lance Pope when he gets back on the mound. But don't count this Massachusetts team out. They've got the power to come back in this game. Lawrence County's going to have some good pitching and defense. And keep those runners off the base of Massachusetts.
It's fouled away. Here's the pitch. And that one's high. And it's 3-2.
Ryan steps out, looks down to his father, David, down there at third base, gets the sign. He's ready to go again.
9-1, Lawrence County over Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Here's the pitch. Line drive into deep left. It's left center field. Over the head of Cooney. That'll clear the bases. Hauser and Hallmark will score. Weathers trots into second with a 2 RBI double. It's 11-1. He tattooed that into deep center field.
He gave that ball a ride. Right there to the left center field, more towards center field to the deepest part of the park. And Ron Weathers has a bases clearing double as he stands up at second base.
So new baseball. There's not enough room on the new scoreboard in that first inning, Stanley. It's just room for single scores.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so in the first inning they'll say 1-1, but it flashes for you. Never seen that. That pitch is fouled away.
Well, they got the 10-run lead, but they got to get to the 5th inning for it to count.
0-1 delivery to Pope.
Ooh.
That one nearly hit him.
I thought it did.
Did too.
Well, Lawrence County being the home team, they can go 4.5 innings in this game if they can keep the 10-run lead up.
We do have a long way to go. Pittsfield with a powerful team.
They are.
Pitch is high.
And these guys, I can see these guys not laying down.
Oh, no.
They may be a little shell-shocked right here because this is probably the most runs they've given up on their run here to the World Series.
Well, they went undefeated in the New England Regional. Won the championship on the host team's home field in Trumbull, Connecticut. The pitch is inside for a ball, 3-1. Lance Pope. A long time between pitches when he steps back on the mound. Now time asked for and called. JP Plant, Stanley Wilson here with you on the Exports Radio Network, Exports TV. Here's a 3-1 delivery, curveball. Oh, he held back and just fouled it off. Nice piece of hitting there by Pope.
Yeah, right off his hands, wasn't it?
And the count is full. At 3-2. Over to Tom Cruise Field, California leading 5-1 over Giles County. They are in the top of the second inning. Payoff pitch coming to Lance Pope. Outside and a walk for Pope. Weathers will move to third as the ball gets past Murphy. So runners at the corner, still with one out here in the first. And our partner, Chris Sockwell, getting some baseballs to the umpire. He's good for something then, that's good.
Well, I think he's lost a little weight today. He's coming up these steps a lot.
Hitter Sam Crane. He walked his first time up. Takes that one high for a ball. 1-0 the count. Flynn now with 31 pitches. After spelling Jacob McNeese. The 1-0 to Crane. It is high. 2-0. Two-0 delivery coming from Flynn. Line into right field. Back is Whiteley. Makes the grab. Tagging from third is Weathers. The throw is off the line, and Weathers will score easily, making it 12-1. Holding at first is Lance Pope. So a sacrifice fly for Sam Crane. And 2 outs now in the inning.
Number 88,
Kendall Franklin struck out his first time earlier this inning. The 15th batter in the inning for Lawrence County. So that pitch was outside for a ball.
Well, I got around to 14 batters before the second out was made.
Throw over from Flynn, getting dirty as Pope. Here's the 2-0. That is high. Correction, that was the 1-0. Now it's 2-0. Pitch from Flynn. Inside corner for a strike at the knees.
Good pitch right there.
Count goes to 2-1 to Kendall Franklin. 2 outs in the inning. Runner at first is Pope. Flynn from the stretch. Just a bit high. And it's 3-1. Pittsfield, Massachusetts with a 10-0 shutout and a no-hitter. Isaiah Mestry as Flynn tried to catch Pope napping over at first. He gets back. But Mestry with a gem on Thursday afternoon. (3-1) is high and tight, and another walk as Franklin will take his base at first.
Number 23, Jacob Law.
That is the 8th walk of the inning from Pittsfield pitchers.
Yeah, the Lawrence County team has scored 12 runs only on 6 hits. Those 8 walks have really helped them.
There's a strike to Jacob Laws. He walked his first time. One of those 8 we mentioned. The 16th batter for Lawrenceburg. Oh, he turned on that one. But right to DiMartino at second. On to Walker to retire Laws and the side. But not before. Lawrence County gets 12 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, 2 runners left on base. We played 1. It's Lawrenceburg 12, Pittsfield, Massachusetts 1. Head to the top of the second right after these messages on the Exports Radio Network and Exports TV.
They say time is money. And if your life is any indication, they sure are right. That's why First Tennessee offers convenient online and mobile tools so you can bank whenever and wherever you like. The kind of time-saving services our neighbors in Middle Tennessee are looking for. Because there's always another game, coffee, meeting, dinner, project, weekend, errand, concert, date you need to get to. First Tennessee, serving the state for over 150 years.
Why do people all over the Tennessee Valley love Story & Lee furniture?
I haven't found anything in the whole Tennessee Valley that's the size of Story & Lee.
We know when we come into Story & Lee, we're going to get good quality furniture. We know we're going to get a great price.
With over 144,000 square feet of furniture to choose from, it's the largest furniture store in the Tennessee Valley.
When we go look other places, we always wind up back here for a better buy.
You gotta come see Story & Lee.
Story & Lee Furniture in Leoma, Tennessee.
Babe Ruth League's biggest summer events come to you from all across the country, from Cal Ripken baseball to Babe Ruth softball to Babe Ruth baseball. BRN, the Babe Ruth Network, is your daily insight into all things Babe Ruth League. Tune in every day to check out what's going on in these all-star tournaments and maybe catch your team make our plays of the day. Go to BabeRuthNetwork.org.
Here comes Pittsfield.
Pittsfield, Massachusetts. New England champs. Down 12-1, and it will be Santos, Crocker, and Walker. First pitch from Pope to Santos is nearly caught with an over-the-shoulder basket attempt by Drew Bailey. It'll be a foul ball, 0-1 to Noah Santos.
Santos still alive up there.
Santos was 0 for 1 in the win over Wisconsin Thursday. That pitch is inside, evens the count at 1-1. So Massachusetts coming in with a win, 1-0. The host from Lawrenceburg with a win as well, 1-0. There's a shot right back to the mound. Lance Pope underhands it over to Weathers for the first out of the inning. Lance, a great athlete on the mound, plays basketball at Lawrence County High School. And also, of course, will play or has played on the varsity baseball team at Lawrence County. Here's first pitch to Kyle Crocker. Grounded to short. Up is Hallmark. Over to Weathers. 2 gone in the second.
Number 18, Devin Walker.
12-1 your score. The host from Lawrenceburg over Massachusetts. The hitter is Devin Walker. Hits on the left side. First pitch from the right-handed Pope is outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. JP Plant, Stanley Wilson here with you on the Exports Radio Network and Exports TV. Here's the 1-0. Grounder to the right side. It will go foul. Weathers will pick it up. Count evens at 1-1. And Stanley, if we thought Thursday's crowd was just a dream, it wasn't. It's here again.
Well, we knew that Saturday night would be a big night with the fireworks and all, but with the rain, you weren't sure, but it has turned out to be a big crowd here.
And the line still long at every window, the concession stand. It's just a great atmosphere. Here's the 1-1 delivery to Walker. It is low, 2-1 the count. There's a ground to the right side. Crane to his left. Up to Weathers. 1, 2, 3. Goes Massachusetts in the second. Coming up for the host, it'll be Huckabee, Bailey, and Staggs. We'll have that for you when we return to the World Series live in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee on the Exports Radio Network and Exports TV. Back after this.
Hi, this is Jay. They say time is money. And if your life is any indication, they sure are right. That's why First Tennessee offers convenient online and mobile tools so you can bank whenever and wherever you like. The kind of time-saving services our neighbors in Middle Tennessee are looking for. Because there's always another game, coffee, meeting, dinner, project, weekend, errand, concert, date you need to get to. First Tennessee, serving the state for over 150 years.
Whether you're an all-star athlete or a weekend warrior, don't let pain keep you out of the game. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, our orthopedic, spine, and sports medicine experts care for athletes and average folks alike. We're your hometown orthopedics and sports medicine team. Orthopedic excellence has a new name, Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and Winchester.
And welcome back to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. JP Plant, Stanley Wilson here from our broadcast position built by Parks Lumber. We're glad to be here with you on the Exports Radio Network and Exports TV. 12-1 your score. Lawrenceburg over Pittsfield, Massachusetts. And it will be Bradley Huckabee, Drew Bailey, and Ben Staggs to lead off the bottom of the second inning. Jacob Flynn still on the mound. Came in to spell Jacob McNeese in the bottom of the first. So the righty McNeese will face the righty Huckabee. First pitch is inside for a ball. Flynn's pitch is 2-0. Here's the 2-0 delivery. And that is low for a ball. 3-0.
That was a big hit by Huckabee.
Yes, it was.
Back in the first.
Scored 2 runs. 2 RBIs already in this ball game. There, it takes a strike from Flynn. And the count is 3-1. We'll say hello to those listening and watching up in New England, like Ian and Derek. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the Exports TV this evening. There's a ball and a walk as Huckabee leads off the inning, gets on base. Drew Bailey, the hitter for Lawrenceburg.
Number 18, Drew Bailey.
There's a line drive into left field. Santos has a beat, comes in, and makes a nice grab for the first out of the inning. Retreating to first is Huckabee.
Nice running catch by Santos out there in left field.
First out of the inning.
Right fielder, number 43, Ben Staggs.
So Ben Staggs, lace one into left center. Also plating 2 runs. Back-to-back 2 RBI hits from Huckabee and Staggs. Or 2 and 3 in the lineup. Hitting 10th as Lawrenceburg is using the extra hitter. The 1-0 delivery coming from Flynn. That's over for a strike. Count even at 1-1. California, 5 in the first, 5 in the second. They lead Giles County now 10-1. That goes into the bottom of the second. There's a little squibbler off the mound. Comes Flynn. Throw to first, not in time.
Staggs hustling down that line, using that speed again. That speed puts pressure on that defense.
I believe that'll be an infield hit for Staggs. Moving up to second is Huckabee. 1 out in the inning. Coulter Hauser, for the 3rd time, steps into the batter's box. He is 1 for 2. Pops this one up. Murphy takes off his mask into fair territory, makes the play. 2nd out of the inning. Runners all hold up at their respective bases.
Number 7, Jacob Hallmark.
And Jacob Hallmark steps into the batter's box. Flynn from the stretch. Looks back at Huckabee at second. Now comes to the plate. Line drive into left center field. That's going to get all the way to the wall. Huckabee rounds third. He'll score. Staggs on his way to third. He gets waved home from Weathers. And into second. Tagged out is Staggs. I don't believe, Hallmark was tagged out.
He's out. The run at the plate does not count.
That's right. It was tagged before the run scored. So only one of those runs scored. So that makes it 13-1. The tag at second on Hallmark is the 3rd of the inning. And that will bring Pittsfield, Massachusetts to the plate when we return. We head to the 3rd. It's 13-1, Lawrenceburg over Massachusetts, live from the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. We'll be back after this.
Develop a strong, clean, healthy body, mind, and soul. Develop a strong urge for sportsmanlike conduct. Develop understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance and modesty in victory. Develop control over emotions and speech. Develop into real, true citizens.
At the Babe Ruth League, we are not only developing the next generation of ball players, we are developing the next generation.
Main Street Lawrenceburg is proud to support the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Downtown is in the midst of an incredible revitalization led by Daryl Valentine and the Main Street Board in an effort to make downtown the heartbeat of the city. Come join us downtown where you'll find many shops and restaurants for folks of all ages, streets full of history, and much more. Visit MainStreetLawrenceburgTN.com. On behalf of Daryl Valentine and myself, April Judkins, Main Street Lawrenceburg Director, we hope to see you downtown.
And welcome back to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Be sure and join us every Monday and Thursday from 4 to 6 for Exports Live, where locals go to talk sports. Pigskin Prognosticating 102 with Coach Lou returns this fall, along with extensive coverage of all 5 high schools in Lawrence and Giles counties. It's Exports Live every Monday and Thursday from 4 to 6, only on the Exports Radio Network. Exports Live, where locals go to talk sports. We head to the top of the third, and we've got a pinch hitter for Whiteley, and it is number 24. I don't have my roster, Stanley. What do you have for 24 over there?
We'll have to look it up.
All right.
First pitch low, but that next pitch is outside for 2-0. That pitch down low, 3-0 now. Lance Pope's falling behind.
It is Whiteley. Had the number.
Okay.
Had the number incorrect.
Strike in there. 3-1 now. Lance Pope working with a 13-1 lead over Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Fouled off at the plate. Strike 3 called. Caught looking. One out here in the top of the third. Isaiah Mistry will be the batter at the top of the order for Massachusetts, the New England champs. Fastball misses low, 1-0. That one fouled away. Evens it up at 1-1. One out here. We're in the top of the third inning. Lawrenceburg on top 13-1. Scored 12 in the first inning. Massachusetts got one in the top of the first. Ball inside. Curveball drops in there for a strike. 2-2 now. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So 2 away here at the top of the third. DiMartino will be your batter. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1. Curveball in there. 0-2. Looks like Lance Pope's found a rhythm out there now.
I think so. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Oh, 2 pitch outside, trying to make him chase a curveball. That was fouled off the right field line, out of play. One and 2 count, 2 out. Base is empty. That one way outside. Evens it up at 2-2. $13 to 1. Lawrenceburg in control here. Ball outside, evens it up at 2-2. If you're wondering about the 10-run rule, it is in effect. And Lawrenceburg would have to keep a 10-run rule all the way through the top of the 5th inning. Ground ball right back up the middle. Past Pope into center field. So DiMartino is on at first base with a single. His 2-out hit will bring up McNeese, Jacob McNeese. Oh for 1 with a pop-up. You get the sacrifice fly when he hit it down the right field line, and Big Ben Staggs had to come over and get it. Ooh, that one hit him.
Sounds and looks worse than it actually is. That's, well, it may seem weird to say that the helmet may be the best place to hit, but it's got the most protection. And if you turn it like that, graze the top,
So 2 runners on here with 2 out now. Pope got the first 2 batters in the inning, but he's allowed 2 base runners here. And Jack Cooney, their cleanup hitter, is up. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. Runners get their lead from first and second. Here's the wind of the pitch. Ground ball back toward the mound. Pope up with it, throwing it to first in time for the final out. So they strand 2. They don't get any runs in. Your score remain going to the bottom of the 3rd. Lawrenceburg 13, Massachusetts 1. You're listening to Exports Radio Network and Exports TV. Back in a moment.
Story and
People all over the Tennessee Valley love Story and Lee furniture.
I haven't found anything in the whole Tennessee Valley that's the size of Story and Lee.
We know when we come into Story and Lee, we're going to get good quality furniture. We know we're going to get a great price.
With over 144,000 square feet of furniture to choose from, it's the largest furniture store in the Tennessee Valley.
When we go look other places, we always wind up back here for a better buy.
You gotta come see Story and Lee.
Story and Lee Furniture in Leoma, Tennessee.
Welcome back to the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. J.P. Plant, Stanley Wilson here with you as the host team from Lawrenceburg up on Pittsfield, Massachusetts, 13-1. And we head to the bottom of the 3rd. It will be Weathers, Pope, and Crane. And with the call, Stanley Wilson.
All right. Jacob Flynn back out there for Pittsfield. Ryan Weathers will step up there.
The batter, first baseman, number 25, Ryan Weathers.
1 for 1 with a walk and a double so far in this ball game. First pitch swung on. Bouncer toward third. Up with it, throws over. Got him.
What a play.
Good play by Cowdrey over there. He had to charge it. It was slowing down in that wet grass that's out there.
Second baseman.
But he came up with it cleanly and made a good throw to first.
And nice play by Walker, too, at first to hold on.
So I'll bring up Lance Pope, the pitcher. Way over his head.
Maybe in that wet ball you're just talking about from the grass, Stanley.
Could be. Ball low. Well, the pitchers have got a rosin bag out there on the back of the mound. It keeps their hands dry, but
Tell you, as humid as it is, and then you add on to that moisture on the ground, it's almost impossible to keep it dry.
Ball low. 2-0 now. 1 out here. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Lawrenceburg leading 13-1. Thought we all felt that this would be one of those close games. Ball outside. So Pope will take his spot at first base with the bases on ball.
Well, we do have a long way to go. I know Sarasota team, and they may remember, I think as 13-year-olds in the Southeast Regional, Lawrenceburg got up like 15 or 16 to nothing.
Yeah.
Or 15 to nothing. Ended up having to win at like 17 to 16 as Sarasota came all the way back. So you never know.
I'm sure Lawrenceburg remembers that game very well. The coaches do, at least. There's a ground ball towards second. With it, throws it to short. It's a second for one. On to first. Goes past the first baseman. And it was backed up by the catcher. Good play there. Good hustle. DiMartino fielded it. Turned it to Mestry, and his throw was in the dirt to first. Can't give him an error there because
and now we got a pinch hitter.
Is that Luke Shannon?
That's Bailey Burleson.
Bailey Burleson, I beg your pardon.
There you go.
Your attention, please. Now hitting for Lawrenceburg, number 12, Bailey Burleson.
Well, there's Luke Shannon. I think he's coming in to pinch run.
All right, there we go. Right, pitch running for Crane.
Your attention, please. Now running at first base, number 1, Luke Shannon.
All right, the umpire making his changes on his lineup card. We're ready to go. Bailey Burleson from Summertown steps in here. Flynn ready on the mound. Looks over to first and winds and fires. There's a shot toward left field. It's going to go back. Left fielder under it. He's got it for the final out. Bailey Burleson gave it a ride, but just gave it too much air underneath, and Santos took care of business. So Lawrenceburg goes down in the bottom of the third. We head to the top of the fourth. Your score remains Lawrenceburg 13, Massachusetts 1. You're listening to X Sports Radio Network and X Sports TV. Back in a moment.
Main Street Lawrenceburg is proud to support the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Downtown is in the midst of an incredible revitalization led by Daryl Valentine and the Main Street Board in an effort to make downtown the heartbeat of the city. Come join us downtown where you'll find many shops and restaurants for folks of all ages, streets full of history, and much more. Visit MainStreetLawrenceburgTN.com. On behalf of Daryl Valentine and myself, April Judkins, Main Street Lawrenceburg Director, we hope to see you downtown.
Develop a strong, clean, healthy body, mind, and soul. Develop a strong urge for sportsmanlike conduct. Develop understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance and modesty in victory. Develop control over emotions and speech. Develop into real, true citizens.
At the Babe Ruth League, we are not only developing the next generation of ball players, we are developing the next generation.
Welcome back to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Babe Ruth World Series pitching change for the home team. Jacob Laws in for Lance Pope, and we have a new third baseman as well. And you see over there, Stanley? See a number on the front end.
No, I don't catch it right now.
We got a new third baseman. Let's see who else we got out there. Everybody else is pretty much in the same place. Imagine that will be Bailey Burleson. I think that's exactly who that is.
Yeah,
no,
Pope
Bailey's already in there.
Pope went to left field.
Drew Bailey, that's who it is.
Drew Bailey stays at third base.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So Pope's in left field?
Yep.
All right, we'll get it figured out. It is the top of the fourth. Lawrenceburg leading Massachusetts 13-1. JP Plant, Stanley Wilson here with you on a muggy night in the Mid-South. First three for Massachusetts will be Murphy, Caldry, and Santos. And here with the call, Stanley Wilson.
All right, Jacob Laws on the mound. A big left-hander winds and he fires. Strike in there. He's had some arm issues this summer, so they're giving him some little work here with a 13-1 lead. Sure, they told him to just go out there and throw fastballs and keep it down in the strike zone. Ball inside.
The batter is Brett Murphy.
That was foul tipped at the plate. 1-2 now. Murphy leading off for Massachusetts. Strike three. Caught looking. One out here.
Number 2, Ty Caldry.
Caldry comes up. Third baseman. Foul tipped into the mitt. Strike one. Jacob Laws on the mound for Lawrenceburg. He winds and he fires. Ground ball toward third. Drew Bailey up with it. Throw over to first. In time. Nice play by Ryan Weathers. Kept his foot on the bag and made the catch.
It was. Of course, Ryan pitched on Thursday, known for his pitching arm, but he's a very fine fielding first baseman. Takes some good footwork to do that over at first.
He does, and he's got it.
Got a pitch hitter here for the team for Massachusetts. It'll be Travis Brock coming in for Santos.
Well, Travis Brock will come into the game as a pinch hitter.
Number 4, Travis Bach.
Facing Jacob Laws with 2 out here. First pitch, swung on a miss, strike one. Swung on a miss, strike two. Laws just rocking back and firing him. As I said, he's had some arm problems, and I'm sure they told him not to throw anything fancy out there. Swung on a miss, strike three, and that'll do it for Massachusetts in their half of the fourth inning. 1-2-3. Score remain, Lawrenceburg 13, Pittsfield, Massachusetts 1. You're listening to the Exports Radio Network and Exports TV. Back in a moment.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit sealawco.com or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce.
Whether you're an all-star athlete or a weekend warrior, don't let pain keep you out of the game. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, our orthopedic, spine, and sports medicine experts care for athletes and average folks alike. We're your hometown orthopedics and sports medicine team. Orthopedic excellence has a new name, Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and Winchester.
Welcome back to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. As a new pitcher for Massachusetts, it'll be Kyle Crocker coming into the ball game as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. And it will be Laws, Huckabee, and Bailey. Your first three up for Lawrenceburg. And Stanley, let's take a look at our State Farm tournament recap brought to you by your State Farm agent, Brad Nielsen. For all your auto, home, or life insurance needs, call Brad Nielsen at 931-762-8181. And taking a look at earlier today, it was the West End, Pennsylvania team as they got their first win over Wisconsin. And Sarasota, Florida over Montana earlier today. The night games, Giles County trailing California 10-2. And here at Denver Trap, it is the host team Lawrenceburg over Pittsfield, Massachusetts, 13-1. Here's a look at your tournament recap for today. Jacob Laws steps in the batter's box, and with the call, Stanley Wilson.
All right, he's 0 for 1 so far. Ground out to second and a walk. First pitch high to him from Crocker. Their third pitcher today by Pittsfield. There's a shot towards center field, but he's got it. Jack Cooney surrounded that one easily. So one out.
Number 6, pitcher.
Pretty good swing on it, but I think he caught a little bit on the end of the bat, Stanley.
Yeah,
and still
like
lifted it to deep center.
So Bradley Huckabee will come up there. There's a shot towards center field. Cooney coming in. He can't get to this one. It's going to fall in front of him. Huckabee rounds first, and he's going to hold up right there. So Bradley Huckabee with his second hit of the ball game.
Number 11.
He's on at first with a single.
Clanton.
So Austin Clanton will pinch hit here. He's going to pinch hit for Drew Bailey. Coach is trying to get everybody in the ball game here in this 13-1 game. Give them some swings. Clanton steps in there, facing Kyle Crocker. First pitch swung on a miss, gets away from him, not far enough for Huckabee to get down to second, so he holds up at first. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 0-2 now, 1 out. Bottom of the 4th inning, trying to add on to their lead, leading 13-1. Lawrenceburg. That one's high. Murphy thought about throwing down to first, but Huckabee back.
You know, Stanley, we had a questionnaire for all the players that came in on the day of their travel, including the host team from Lawrenceburg.
There's a pop-up towards center field, but the shortstop's going to take it. That ball didn't go as far as I thought it'd go. It stayed in the infield.
And for Austin Clinton, one of the questions we asked, their favorite professional athlete, his own coach, David Weathers.
That's not buttering up. What is?
He must have been standing over him when he filled that out.
Yeah. First pitch is a strike. So Jacob James is going to get a chance to swing the bat.
Jacob also an excellent pitcher, a lefty. He hits left as well. 3 left-handed pitchers on this Lawrenceburg team.
He's batting for Ben Staggs. Huckabee gets his lead at first. Now he ties back over with no throw over there. Bradley, the showman that he is. Says he's going to play football for that first Summertown team. Throw down to first, and he's back now. Murphy trying to catch him off. James steps back in there. Ball hot. 3-1 now.
And I mentioned as James is a left-handed pitcher, his favorite athlete, Randy Johnson.
Swung on a miss, strike 2. Throw down to first, but he's back.
And Jacob's got a build similar to Johnson, too. Tall and slender.
Mm-hmm. Not quite as tall as he is.
No.
Jacob.
No, very few.
I think Lawsey's about as tall as Johnson.
Lawsey, yeah, close to it.
So full count. Here's the pitch. Ball high, runner going, and it's going to be ball 4. So there'll be runners at first and second now. For another pinch hitter, C.J. Jackson coming up from Collinwood.
Now batting, number 22, C.J. Jackson.
Lawrenceburg on top, 13-1. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. The score is the same after the middle of the 5th. It'll be over. First pitch swung on and missed, strike 1. Slow game over on our other field, JP.
Yeah, just in the top of the 3rd inning, 10-2. California over Giles County, Tennessee.
Ball outside, gets away from Murphy, and the runners are going to go up. So they'll be at second and third now. They got away from the catcher behind in Murphy. It's been a long day for everybody.
Yes.
It's 5 after 11 here. Crowd's kind of subdued with this large lead. That one's fouled straight back.
Yeah, the day started for a lot of these people working the tournament around 8. The grounds crew at 5:30 this morning, Stanley. As the rains came last evening, actually cleared up by about the time night fell, but it had done enough damage.
Foul tipped at the plate. Murphy can't hang on to it. Count remain 1-2. 2 out, runners at second and third. There's a foul ball over here. from the other field. Swung on, Tapper out in front of the mound. CJ running down first base, throw over there, out. It goes above the first base, but all the way down the right field line. One run will score. And that's Huckabee scoring, but James is going to be held at third. So runners at second and third now.
So a base hit and then an error on the throw, allowing the run to score. And moving up, James to third and Jackson, CJ up to second.
So it's 14-1 now, Lawrenceburg leading. Strike called. Outside corner on Hallmark. Hollywood.
Yep, and Jacob 2 for 2 today, Stanley, with walk and score in the first. And he also singled his other 2 times at the plate, scored in the second inning. Was forced out in the third.
That pitch misses outside. Evens it up at 1-1 now. Ball in the dirt. 2-1.
Well, I'll tell you, Stanley, it's after 11 o'clock here in Central Time, and the stands are still extremely full. And even with a 14-1 lead.
Crocker at the belt. He winds and he fires. Strike called, outside corner. Good pitch. 2-2 now. Ball outside. Runs it full, 3-2. 2 out. Runners will be going here. Well, they may not be going. There's nobody at first. Beg your pardon. Just runners at second and third. Payoff pitch coming. Swung on, ground ball towards short. Mestry up with it. Throw over to first. In time for the final out. So that'll do it for Lawrence County in their bottom of the fourth. They score 1 run. They take a 14-1 lead over Massachusetts. Stay with us. We're going to the top of the fifth. You're listening to Exports Radio and Exports TV. Back in a moment.
Whether you're an all-star athlete or a weekend warrior, don't let pain keep you out of the game. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, our orthopedic, spine, and sports medicine experts care for athletes and average folks alike. We're your hometown orthopedics and sports medicine team. Orthopedic excellence has a new name, Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and Winchester.
Why do people all over the Tennessee Valley love Story and Lee furniture?
I haven't found anything in the whole Tennessee Valley that's the size of Story and Lee.
We know when we come into Story and Lee, we're going to get good quality furniture. We know we're going to get a great price.
With over 144,000 square feet of furniture to choose from, it's the largest furniture store in the Tennessee Valley.
When we go look other places, we always wind up back here for a better buy.
You gotta come see Story and Lee.
Story and Lee Furniture in Leoma, Tennessee.
Welcome back to the Exports Radio Network and Exports TV's coverage of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. JP Plant, Stanley Wilson here, live from our broadcast position built by Parks Lumber. And our coverage this evening and all throughout the World Series brought to you by Valentine Enterprises and in part by First Tennessee Bank. And here with the call in the fifth inning, Stanley Wilson.
Bailey Burleson, new pitcher. His first pitch misses for a ball inside.
Kyle Crocker is the hitter for Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
Strike in there. Crocker came on in relief. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 1-2 now. Swung on a miss, strike 3. So Crocker's out swinging. 1 out here at the top of the 5th. And give up 3 runs here and still get the 10-run rule in effect. First pitch misses, ball 1. Next pitch swung on, missed, strike 2.
Hunter Brazy is the new hitter for Massachusetts.
A lot of substituting in this game. These kids get some World Series experience. Ball outside, 2-1 count, 1 out. That one misses inside, runs it to 3-1 now. Fouled out of play. Looks like JJ stayed in the game in right field, JP.
I think you're right.
So Jacob James took Ben Stagg's place. That was popped up out there to right field. Everybody going out, and Jacob James takes care of it. Weathers and Crane were going for the same thing. Glad there was no collision out there.
It was looking a little dicey for a moment, Stanley, but James called him off at the end. Whiteley will be the hitter, 0 for 1 today.
So 2 out here on Pittsfield. Right back up the middle. Burleson's got it. He throws over to first, and that'll do it. And Lawrenceburg gets their second win in the tournament as they down the Massachusetts team, the New England champs, 14-1. And the 10-run rule is in effect on this game.
All right, so Stanley, we'll take a quick look at our Summit at Home game summary brought to you by the Summit at Home, helping individuals live independently at home. For Pittsfield, Massachusetts, 1 run on 3 hits and 4 errors, 4 runners left on base. For Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, the host team, 14 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error, and 6 runners left on base. 12 runs in the first for the host team from Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County, and that was the difference. And that's a look at your Summit at Home game summary. All right, stay with us. We'll have our post-game coverage, some stats, player of the game, play of the game, and more. It's all ahead on your World Series post-game show from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, live on the X-Sports Radio Network and X-Sports TV, presented in part by Valentine Enterprises and First Tennessee Bank. We will be back after these short messages. In the hearts of downtown Mount.
They say time is money. And if your life is any indication, they sure are right. That's why First Tennessee offers convenient online and mobile tools so you can bank whenever and wherever you like. The kind of time-saving services our neighbors in Middle Tennessee are looking for. Because there's always another game, coffee, meeting, dinner, project, weekend, errand, concert, date you need to get to. First Tennessee, serving the state for over 150 years.
Why do people all over the Tennessee Valley love Story and Lee furniture?
I haven't found anything in the whole Tennessee Valley that's the size of Story and Lee.
We know when we come into Story and Lee, we're going to get good quality furniture. We know we're going to get a great price.
With over 144,000 square feet of furniture to choose from, it's the largest furniture store in the Tennessee Valley.
When we go look other places, we always wind up back here for a better buy.
You gotta come see Story and Lee.
Story and Lee Furniture in Leoma, Tennessee.
Whether you're an all-star athlete or a weekend warrior, don't let pain keep you out of the game. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, our orthopedic, spine, and sports medicine experts care for athletes and average folks alike. We're your hometown orthopedics and sports medicine team. Orthopedic excellence has a new name, Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and Winchester.
And welcome back to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, the post-game show from the Babe Ruth World Series as the host team Lawrenceburg wins 14-1 over Pittsfield, Massachusetts. And Lawrenceburg goes 2-0, Stanley, as they now will face tomorrow afternoon the team from Wisconsin, and scheduled for the late game. So we'll start at noon with the early games and then play after that. So it should be sometime around, I don't know, 3 o'clock maybe?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to tell.
Yeah. As you welcome you into our booth here, J.P. Plant alongside Stanley Wilson. And let's take a look at our Save of the Game, brought to you by You Save Car and Truck Rental, where you always have a choice. You Save Car and Truck Rental, the official rental car company of the Exports Radio Network and the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. And Stanley, Sam Crane happened, I think, first inning, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Second play of the game.
He made an incredible snag to his right, dove for the ball, and made a great catch. And I think you and I both agree that was indeed the save of the game without question.
Well,
all right.
It happened after a leadoff triple, and, I mean, if he'd got a base hit right there, the rally would have really got momentum right there. But Sam Crane catching that line drive kept them down to 1 run there in the first inning.
All right, let's take a look at our player of the game. Who do you got for us?
I got Jacob Hallmark. He went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. So congratulations to Jacob Hallmark being our first volunteer bank player of the game. So Jacob Hallmark.
All right, congratulations to him. We're rolling through. Play of the game, we had several. Stanley, brought to you by Casino Real, but we've got, at 14 runs, 12 in that first inning. What are you going with this evening?
Well, we got Sam's play, of course, but we gave him the save of the game. But two players that really came through tonight, and that's Bradley Huckabee and Ben Staggs. They both had big hits there in that first inning. Both of them contributed to 2 RBIs on each of those hits. So I'm going to give the Casino Real play of the game, brought to you by Casino Real, the home of authentic Mexican taste, to Bradley Huckabee and to Ben Staggs.
All right, there you go. So I think we kind of rolled through what we've got all for the postgame, and looking ahead and kind of reflecting on what Lawrenceburg, the host team, has done so far, Stanley. Very impressive. A lot of pressure coming in as the host team, and I think they've performed maybe above some expectations they even have for themselves.
Well, we all thought going in this ballgame with Massachusetts, we heard about McNeese being the good left-hander, and I said on the Williams Auto Sales Keys of the Game, Lawrenceburg had to get out there and start hitting and keep their hitting going, and that's exactly what they did. They gave up the run or in the top of the first off the triple, and it looked like, wow, we may have a game here with Massachusetts because they were a good hitting team, but we came back and answered them with 12 runs in the bottom of the first inning. And Lawrenceburg went on to cruise, and it just kind of took the wind out of the sails of Pittsfield.
All right, well, we'll take a look at some of our final stats for you tonight. A lot of hits tonight for the host team from Lawrenceburg. Coulter Hauser was 1 for 3, 2 for 3 for Hallmark, 1 for 2 for Weathers. Pope with a couple of at-bats. Had 3 plate appearances, actually, a couple of walks. Sam Crane, 0 for 2. On the night, Kendall Franklin, 0 for 1. Laws, 0 for 2. 2 for 2 for Bradley Huckabee, as he had 2 RBI on the evening. Drew Bailey, 0 for 1. Ben Staggs, 2 for 2, pair of RBIs as well. Austin Clayton got a plate appearance, as did Bailey Burleson. Christopher Jackson and Jacob James, Luke Shannon as well got in the ball game as a courtesy runner. 2 RBIs for Hallmark, 2 for Weathers, 2 for Crane, 2 for Huckabee, 2 for Staggs, and 1 for Laws, 1 for Pope. So a big night offensively for the team from Lawrenceburg. Pitching, Pope with the start, went 3 innings, only gave up 1 run. It was unearned, and struck out 2, didn't walk anybody, gave up 2 hits. Jacob Laws came in, pitched a fine inning, and
yes,
as you
did.
mentioned, maybe a little bit of tendonitis in his arm, but came out and threw very, very well, was hitting his spots. And I tell you, when he's got his control, Stanley, he is one of the toughest pitchers to hit.
Well, first of all, he's very intimidating. He's 6'7" on that mound. It looks like he's 10 foot tall, and but he just all he did not really just throw fastballs and kind of change speeds up a little bit. But it's good to see him back out there on the mound.
Yes, indeed. And then Bailey Burleson came in to pitch 1 inning and faced 3 batters, got them all out, and he also had a strikeout as well. So big win for the home team, Lawrenceburg. They defeat Pittsfield, Massachusetts 14-1. Looking at what Pittsfield has coming up as we look to tomorrow's games, as Massachusetts has the day off tomorrow. They will play again tomorrow evening, more than likely, if they get to that point. They're scheduled to play Pennsylvania next, as we'll start tomorrow with our Saturday scheduled games in the or at noon.
Yep, it's a doubleheader tomorrow.
Get 2 of those in tomorrow, and then we'll try to work in Sunday's regular scheduled games, probably start a little bit later in the afternoon and try to get them all in, weather permitting. So it's going to be another busy day at Bobby Brewer Park tomorrow, weather permitting, but we look forward to bringing it to you. You can catch it all on Exports Radio Network, Exports TV as well. Just go to exportsradio.com, and you can find it all out there. Final thoughts tonight, Stanley?
Well, a great performance by Lawrenceburg. We're glad to I think the best performance all day was the grounds crew. I think they worked hard to get these fields in playable condition. They're not perfect. There's still a lot of soggy grass out there and some mud out there, but they did the best they could with what they had, and congratulations to that grounds crew. They did a fine job today.
How about let's give them our Vision Center replay, if you will, replaying and getting the field in good order. So congratulations to them as well. All right, well, that's going to about wrap it up for us here tonight. Thanks for tuning in to the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the Exports Radio Network and Exports TV. Operations manager was Ben Luna. Director was Kyle Johnson. Studio engineer tonight and all day was Paula Walker. For A.J. McCroskey on camera, Darren McCroskey on camera, and Stanley Wilson, I'm J.P. Plant, reminding you to join us tomorrow. Coverage kicks off at noon, and as we will have West End, PA versus Fargo on Tom Cruise Field and Exports TV 2. And at the same time at noon, we'll have Glacier, Montana versus California, as that will be right here on Denver Trap Field. And a final score from next door, 13-2 now, California over Giles County. That game in the bottom of the third. All right, so thanks for a long day, a lot of hard work to all of our crew here at Bobby Brewer Park today. I'm J.P. Plant saying good night from Lawrenceburg. Be sure to check out exportsradio.com for replays and scores. Until tomorrow, good night. Thanks for tuning in.